Good morning, everyone. Well, you know, all of us have been affected by addiction, whether it be a loved one currently battling an addiction or, sadly, a loved one who may have lost the battle. But our next guests are here to help. Greg Hannley and Daniel Baldwin with Sober Recovery are back, along with the lovely Miss USA 2006 and recovery advocate Tara Connor. Good morning.
Good morning.
We're getting adjusted to these new chairs. They're kind of slipping down a little bit. I'm taller than all of you, I think. Mine's great.
Note to the producers, when fat, heavy men get in the chair, you want to crank that thing up a little bit. I'm stumped up.
Don't talk about my friends like that.
I'm stumped up. I got to stand a little bit.
Daniel keeps saying, I'm stumped.
Or whack-a-mole.
Hashtag stumped up.
I think you'll look lovely. Tara and I are towering over both of you, but what do you do?
Enjoy
it's good to see you guys. We're glad you're here.
Yeah.
You look nice. Did you enjoy the cool weather finally in Texas?
Yeah.
Were you surprised?
You don't know what cool weather is.
I know you're in the Northeast. I know you've got cold weather.
None of you know what
This is cold for us.
I left. It's a snowstorm. The kids are home from school, tearing the house up right now.
Oh,
They're having a good time.
You're gonna have fun when you get home.
Yeah.
If I can get home.
Okay. Well, you can stay here.
Well,
we
let's
love
just
having you.
think positive thoughts, Daniel.
All right, I'm going with it.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's not start the morning off with I'm stumped.
I got married. Let's start it off with
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Pow pow.
Oh, what a lucky guy.
Yeah, he
What a
is.
lucky
Millions of men around the world are crying now.
They're in the fetal position, sucking their thumb.
They are.
It's over. They've lost their chance. Congratulations, Tara.
Wow.
Very happy for you, honey.
Power rating.
All right. Well, as Greg
Ouch.
tries to lift his chair a little, we're going to go through some trending topics. Y'all want to get started on these? It's so hard to take you seriously right now. Can we lift Greg's chair up, please? For real. I'm going to try to lift it.
Leave
We're
Stumpy Greg
having
alone.
technical difficulties here.
So let's talk
Okay,
a
well,
trending topic.
Let's go.
I'll just sit tall.
Shoulders back. Shoulders back, Greg. All right, so Amanda Bynes, we have to talk about her. I feel like it was just yesterday we were watching her just spiral back in 2012. Do you remember
I do.
seeing her, all the paparazzi? She was arrested several times. She was a child actress, incredibly successful, but then it just all went downhill. She's gotten treatment. She's clean. She's even gone and gotten a degree, and she's ready to return back to acting. I just want to get y'all's thoughts on this because I'm all for the comeback, right?
Oh, me too.
I'm excited for
Take
her.
it from the comeback queen. I think that it's great. I know that she's worked really hard because I know some people that have worked with her, and she's really put in a lot of effort, and I think that we can all come back from anything.
Still adjusting.
We can always come back, right? It doesn't matter how far down the scale we go. There's
Yeah.
always an opportunity because when you can touch the bottom, there's nowhere else to go but up.
And that's proof right there.
Yeah.
That's proof right there. What I thought was interesting is I was reading this article, and she says that actually prescription drugs were her drug of choice. That it was Adderall for her, and it wasn't the cocaine. It wasn't the anything else. So I thought because we talk about this so much, I thought that was interesting. That was her go-to.
Yeah. I mean, everyone has their thing, you know?
Yeah.
What was your thing, Greg? Slumping
Everything.
chairs?
Well, you know, Adderall, the name for it is actually amphetamine salts. So, you know, it is kind of a legal amphetamine.
Yeah.
It's like legal cocaine.
I found that, and this includes a couple of people that are very close to me. I had a relative who, at 10:30 at night, her husband called me and said, she's in the next door neighbor's gardening.
She was in the wrong garden.
at 10:30 at night. And she's at 10:30 at night, she's got a little thing and she's weeding and she's underneath sweating and she's taking, I think it was 20 Adderall a day.
That was just
Tens.
Adderall.
Tens. But she was convinced that this is what helped keep her motivated.
Yeah.
And I said,
Lose
your
weight.
garden, that was another one. Look how good I look now. And just bugged out of her head.
Wow.
And I drove over there and I was like, you're gardening in your neighbor's without permission. They didn't ask you to do the garden. She's on her hands
She
and
was
knees.
just being very helpful.
Well, what happens to
Hashtag helpless.
what happens to college kids a lot too is they take that to study or for test, and then they get used to it.
Right.
And then they can't sleep, so the doctor gives them
Ambien.
and then he
Xanax.
gives them Klonopin, and all of a sudden now they're on these benzos and Adderall, and then they throw some alcohol on the weekend and end up in the hospital.
Bad combo right there.
Yeah, it's really hard to get it.
And I feel like they're starting this Adderall younger and younger. and it's being prescribed.
If there's a problem, because if people aren't getting proper assessments, they are giving our kids like Ritalin, Adderall. Some kids need it, but it's kind of a debate. I think a lot of people just want to cover up a problem instead of doing like proper therapy or figuring out what's the underlying issue. But it's a little devilish dance that doctors have to dance around when it comes to
They would have gave that
kids.
to me for sure when I was
When
a
you were
kid.
younger?
I think
For
I
sure.
I've read your
needed
book,
it.
so I can. That makes sense. Yeah.
My
And
doctor said I was self-medicating from the things that I was taking because of I have ADHD. It's gnarly.
Yeah.
The danger of this, unlike buying illicit, illegal drugs, are that somebody who you trust and somebody who has taken the time to go to college for 9
Your
years,
doctor.
and your doctor is telling you, here you go, this will help you. And they're
It's
giving you
legal.
that. No one tells them that if you have knee surgery and you may
Right.
have pain for a few days, but after a few days, the pain is there to tell you you're going too hard or you're going
Right.
too fast. You're taking these under the prescription of a doctor, and then you go ahead and no one tells you you could get hooked on this really easily and become
Right.
dependent on it in a week, 2 weeks at the
Yeah.
most. So, Greg has always said that one of the greatest things that we can do, and some states are doing it, is limiting the prescription. You can't get 90, 120.
Right.
You only get them for a week.
Finally, they are.
Yeah.
That's
Fi-
great.
But that's not enough of the states that are doing it.
No.
We
Not
need
enough.
more states to do it.
We need them all. There needs
Should
to be
be
a
all of
federal
them. It
mandate.
needs to be a
Yeah.
national
Yeah.
thing. I think Arizona, there's a couple different states that are given 2 weeks at a time so that people aren't getting 360 or 400 pills that they're
Right.
selling to supplement their, disability.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break, though. We're going to have more trending topics and another special guest when we return. Good morning, everyone, and we are back with Greg Hannley and Daniel Baldwin with Soba Recovery, along with the beautiful Miss USA 2006 and recovery advocate Tara Connor, and also special guest Myra Liao. Good morning.
Good morning.
Myra's very special to you, right, Greg? I mean, she's quite the lady, and she's got quite the story, and she's a wonderful actress, and you're also in recovery still, because we're in recovery forever, right? That's what
Right.
I always say.
Hopefully.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you guys for having me.
And for sharing your story. So I guess one thing I wanted to talk about are the fact that the holidays are coming. And Daniel, you always say that this is especially a hard time for people if they're in recovery, if they're going, battling an addiction right now. Why are the holidays such a hard time in particular?
I feel like it's just a heightened time. I think that a lot of us have family, and families fight, and families have opinions, and sometimes it's scary to sit down with the ones that love you the most because they are honest with you, or it's just chaos, right?
Yeah.
So if you're newly sober, sometimes it's not the safest place to go be with family for the holidays.
So what do you do?
Well, look at it this way. Imagine.
Don't go as a choice.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
It is.
I was gonna ask you that.
It is. Take the 6 most significant relationships that you've had in your life with a partner throughout your whole life, and 3 of them ended pretty badly. And put all 6 of them in a room and go spend the holidays with them.
Yay!
Right.
Merry Christmas.
Because it really is. You have a personal relationship with every one of these people, and with one brother or one sister or the uncle or the aunt. Some of them you were really bad. Some of the things you
Yeah,
did,
and maybe
they
they're still
don't know
upset.
because you've wandered off now and gotten into recovery
Yeah.
and things are
Yeah.
all great. And you come walking back in and going, and they know the person 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That's the person they know.
Right.
The person that was going to steal their car. The
Oh,
person
when
that's
you
gonna-
really knew, they're going, hey, you've been in the bathroom a long time.
Right.
Why are
Well,
you
I gotta
taking
go
your
to the
purse to the
going on there?
bathroom? Stop
You want some
bringing
toilet
your purse
paper?
to the bathroom. Can I get you something to drink? Water?
For me personally, it was like, it's always been a time of just party, essentially.
Yeah.
I'm Latina, and my dad, likes to whip out the Patron bottles. And so for me in the beginning, it was especially difficult just because it was a time to gather with family. And so I felt like I couldn't contribute in that way, like participate
Gotcha.
Right.
in the
Did
fun.
you get this one with the glass of Patron? They go, oh, is that going to bother you?
All the time.
Oh, no, not at all.
Did that. My husband does that. Are you sure? I'm like, drink, celebrate.
Yeah.
But it's true. I think people don't know how to act around someone who is no longer doing what they used to do. And I know, Myra, you've been sober 4 years. Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How have you dealt with that? Because you said you have this big family. They love to celebrate. They love to have a good time.
Yeah.
How do you go into that and deal with it every time the holidays come around?
Well, I think after this much time has passed, you know, they totally have gotten used to me being like the sober, you know, human in the room.
Designated driver.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, in the beginning they were just, you know, like she said, like, oh, is this okay? Like, and it's, you know, I just expressed if ever I was uncomfortable, you know, I just communicate what's happening.
Yeah.
If I am, you know.
I was going to ask if y'all could maybe give families out there some advice. Seriously, if they have someone who, you know, is in recovery, or, you know, maybe they're going through a hard time, how should they be behaving
Try
when
to
everyone
be
gets
nice.
together?
Be
Yeah.
nice.
You know,
It's
how do you-
holidays, and if somebody needs to go, then let them go. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of
Yeah,
like,
don't pressure them.
or if somebody is kind of worried about coming, it's okay for them to miss one. There'll be plenty more as long as they're sober, but it's better to have somebody miss a holiday staying sober
Yeah.
than miss a holiday because they didn't and they're not with us anymore.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got to tell you a story about Myra.
Tell me.
I was just
Tell the
gonna
story.
Me too, yeah.
So she did a movie with us, Wisdom to Know the
Right,
Difference.
awesome.
And she was good friends from Machete with Danny Trejo. And,
Okay.
I met him, and he was asking about her, and he was saying he was trying to get her in. So at the premieres, we would go out, and she just would knock it out of the park. And I remember standing on a corner in New York, and she's going, come on, we're going to go to the party. And I'm going, yeah, no, I'm pretty going home, but
Yeah.
here's my card. And
Call me.
I want you to keep this and just call me. And every premiere, I would give her a card.
Did he every time?
Yeah. And I said, Danny said it'd be a good idea for you to come and visit with us.
Hint,
and,
hint. You're right.
and it was, and
Not
then
subtle.
finally she called. And
I did.
came here to Soba and
And when he
That's
was
just
giving me the card, it didn't even register.
Right.
Didn't register how she got the movie.
Yeah.
We did a movie together,
Yeah.
HOA, which we shot here in San Antonio.
remember.
And I had written Wisdom to Know the Difference. And I said, really pretty good actress, Latina girl, which is what the script is about. And so Myra moved in with me in another room with another couple. We were all living together doing this movie. And finally, after watching this act for a week, I turn around and she doesn't work this one day, and I take the script into her bedroom and I wake her up. I go, read this today. You're going to read this. I said, because if you do this movie, it's going to change your life. Myra thought, oh, I'm going to win awards.
Yeah. Like my career.
I'm like, no, that's not what I mean about
Yeah.
changing your life.
Yeah.
Oh, Myra, thank you. It's so nice to see you again, and you look beautiful.
Thank you.
You're just
Thank you so much.
beaming.
And I just want to say, you know, I mean, it's so crazy and surreal to be back here in San Antonio with these two.
Yeah.
That they were definitely the two people. Actually, there's a third, Alex.
Yeah, he's here
who
too. He's back
were
behind the camera.
absolutely responsible in me changing my life around, and I wouldn't be where I am without them. So thank you.
Well, when we come back, we should talk about, she's a graduate of Soba Texas.
Yeah.
I know. We can talk about that.
Yeah.
We can talk about, because Soba Texas is right here in San Antonio. So we will talk more about that after the break. We'll be right back.
People think courage is simply walking through fear. Courage is not running from yourself. I believed getting sober meant I would lose my edge. Turns out, I was wrong. I only surrendered the things that were holding me back. But all those fears I've faced over the years pale in comparison to the courage it took me to get sober. When you think your world is falling apart, it's actually coming together. I have found my freedom and will do anything to protect it. And so can you.
Welcome back, everyone, and we are back with Soba Recovery, and we have special guest Myra Leal here. And Greg, you were just telling us some stories about Myra, because Myra actually went to Soba, Texas, which is your facility here. You were there for 45 days.
Yes.
Right? Tell us a bit about the experience and what made it different for you, Myra.
I loved the community. I loved all of the techs that were working at the time. I remember them being so helpful and supportive and just very attentive, and definitely lent me an ear when I needed to chat with someone if I was having an uncomfortable time. And then obviously having Greg, he's been such an amazing mentor. Kind of non-official sponsor.
He agrees.
Yeah, and so it was just, I felt like home. I felt like I had arrived when I got there. Like, okay, something really big and amazing is going to happen, and it did.
Greg always talks about, well, all of you guys talk about the fact that this 28 days recovery business doesn't work. Right. So you were at Soba, Texas for 45 days, but then you transferred to Soba, Malibu, and you were basically there for 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's a long process to get where you are.
Yeah, no, I think I definitely believe that the reason why I'm still sober today is because I had such a long time in sober living. I mean, I was doing, IOP, intensive outpatient therapy, for all of those years, and I think it was very helpful to really get to the root of what was causing my dis-ease,
You always talk about the root.
Well,
I
I
always
was
talk
thinking
about
too,
that.
when we were thinking about the holidays, the only thing that was missing at this Thanksgiving was Myra.
Oh, yeah.
Because she spent all her holidays at my house we would have usually 6 or 8 or 10 people that had been around for a while that weren't going home at the house, and you were missed.
You see how fast when it's a pretty girl you can get forgotten? These two step in, she steps in now. I was there for years. I'm not missed.
He's still here. Okay. I have a feeling you were missed. I have a feeling you're always missed.
I was always missed.
Yeah. But anyway, no, I love that story, and I love that you've stayed so close. And I also love the fact that with Soba, you always have a family. So for people who go through recovery they're never alone. And I think that's what makes it so special and so significant. I know y'all all agree.
Yeah.
I think Myra will agree with me about something. There was one of the most significant differences for me, and I went 9 times to rehabs. But Greg's way of, well, I've been here, 3 months, and I really believe, and he go, I was never wrong. I was never wrong. Let's look at that.
Yeah.
Let's look at that for a minute. So last month went really well. 3rd month of sobriety, first time you've had 3 months in a long time. Maybe we should stick around. Well, I don't know how long, but maybe we should stick around this week. And he broke it down, but they loved me there. The other place, they're like, you're never going to make it. You're going to screw it up. They damned me. They took your phone. They took your computer. They beat me up. They told me what a jerk I was, and you caused this with your family. I never felt like I was
safe.
I never felt loved.
Well, and I would ask sometimes, do you really think that's a good idea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That sounds like a parent.
But he was. He
No,
was
and
Papa Smurf.
Yeah.
So you have, when you're new in recovery, you have these two. You have what you want to do, and you have what you should do.
Right.
And for me all I would do is let the people figure it out on their own. And there can be a wide difference between what I want to do and but internally it's a bad idea. And what I wanted to learn is to not always go, man, I knew I shouldn't have done that. And we have a saying that it's better to be in here wishing you were out there than be out there wishing you were in here.
Absolutely.
And so it is, if you got to put a little extra time in to be able to really get the hang of it and go through some life things while you're new in recovery. And there's things that you're going to deal with. By the time you hit the rehab, there's things that are going in your life that need to get fixed, for sure. And it's a lot better if, and even like a holiday, if you go on a holiday and you have a rough time, but you can go back to your community and talk about it with people who understand and go,
You're not alone.
I felt like drinking, I felt like using, and they go, let's go to a meeting or let's go do something. It just makes it work so much better.
It's your family.
Yeah.
They become
Yeah,
your family.
but Greg said the most poignant thing for me. People have varying levels that they can tolerate and do everything. I'm a long time sober, and everyone's going to go to my sister's house, all of her kids, their kids, blah, blah, and I have my 2 girls with me, and I turned around and I thought, I'm not going to drink when I go there. But I don't want to be around a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
Even at this level now for me,
Yeah.
that's not fun for me.
Yeah.
Right.
That there's going to be people watching the transition over 4 hours of their 3rd glass of wine and they're stammering a little bit. So I'm getting in the car and I'm driving down to Long Island and I'm going to go, I rented a little house and I'm going to be with Alec because he has 4 little kids and his family. I'm going to watch the little kids open presents that I bought them. And I'm going to, and I know no
that's
one,
okay.
but no one in that house because Alec's sober is going to drink.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to be around
Yes.
all sober people with my girls and do that throwback little kid Christmas thing. I can't wait to go that versus, and not that it's not fun and I don't love my other relatives, but I don't need to put myself around that
Right.
where, and in a situation where I'm not going to enjoy
When
myself.
people start getting hammered, I go, yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah.
But his,
And I'm out.
but his point was,
Yeah.
sometimes you just don't go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just don't.
Yeah.
I got enough going on in my life this month that I don't need to be around that.
Yeah.
I don't.
And that's smart choice. And,
Yeah.
and people need to know that that's okay.
Yes.
Yes,
You know,
it's
that's okay.
absolutely okay.
All right, guys, well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to tell you what you can do today, like within the next 5 minutes, if you feel like you need some help or someone you love is really struggling. We'll be right back. Welcome back, and Alex is joining us, the Director of Operations at Soba Texas. What can people do today, Alex, if they need some help?
It starts with a phone call or a text, the number that's on the screen. So some people might be at work or they're at home and they might have kids around or somebody they don't want to hear. So it's pretty easy to text and keep it private if you don't want to, have an out loud conversation.
And they can talk to someone today, and they can come and see you today.
24/7, somebody will answer and they can come out and do a tour or, start the process.
You can ask questions, come in,
Anything.
send a text, put the
Sometimes we do things for the thrill. Sometimes we do things for survival. There have been different points in my life where I didn't know if I would survive. Seek humility, or it will find you. I have faced many fears, confronted many challenges. Having the courage to overcome the beast of addiction is by far the biggest victory of my life. True victory is victory over oneself.